Good afternoon, LTF fans. Today's video is about the West Ham versus Everton preview. A bogey club for West Ham. We've got a terrible record against Everton. We lose there all the time. They come down and do us over all the time. We had that FA Cup win, didn't we, last season, where Adrian took his gloves off and banged it in the top corner. That was a rare win. We very rarely win up there. Looking back at the stats when I was doing my research, last 5 at Upton Park, last 5 at Goodison, it's either been a loss or a draw. We've not actually won up there in our last 10 games. Everton, Slavan's former club, actually played 30 times for Everton. I believe they'll give him a good reception. Even though he only played there 30 times, I think he's still a bit of a cult hero up there. You know, like he is at West Ham. Like, he didn't actually play that many games for us when you look at it, but he's still a cult hero. If we look at Everton's players, they've got players that love scoring goals against West Ham, and that one of those is Lukaku. Lukaku absolutely loves scoring goals against us. He scored in 6 consecutive games against us, and he's a real danger. He's an absolute beast on his day. And people like Winston Reid, if we welcome Winston Reid back, he's going to have his hands full in that game. He actually scored last season, didn't he, in the 2-1? I think he scored in the 90th minute, was it? Then we look at Aruna Kone. Aruna Kone banged in a hat-trick against a very poor side, but still, you can only score who's in front of you. And if he's on a bit of a hot streak at the moment, I can definitely see him score, definitely see him banging one in. This game's usually for the cards. We had that game, was it Colton Cole wrongly sent off a couple of years ago? But yeah, there's always usually quite a lot of yellow cards fly around and red cards here and there. Barkley, massive fan of Ross Barkley. Love the way he can just pick the ball up, carry. He seems to like float with the ball, doesn't he? It reminds me of a bit like Gaza, not as good as Gaza, but definitely sort of similar sort of style and running style. You've got that Delafu, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, the one they got from Barcelona, who they had on loan. He's very dangerous, very pacey, and if Morales comes on, I think he's also got a very good record against West Ham. So some dangerous players to look out for. On their injury list, they've got Leighton Baines, thank God, because that man loves banging a free kick against West Ham. He did 2 in the same game a few years ago, didn't he? Terrible, terrible. But it's great that he's not playing. Jagielka, big fan of him, great defender. Yeah, they're a dangerous side. They're a bogey side. I don't look forward to the Everton game ever. It's one of those where you just usually go, that's a loss. West Ham are hopefully going to be welcoming back Sakho, Winston Reid, and that's going to be good for us. You know, we really missed Sakho's runs against Watford, didn't we? He's a real threat when he's on form, and I love Sakho. Winston Reid, he'll be back surely. James Collins suspended for this one, I think, because of the red card he picked up against Watford. Also, big news, hopefully, fingers crossed, Alex Song will be on the bench and he can come on maybe for a half hour, just steady things up. If we are winning or even if we're drawing, he's another one. Like he will find Payet, and then Payet will find Sakho, Lanzini, Moses or Zarate, whoever is on the pitch at the time, you know. Enna may come on. In terms of Zarate and Moses, I don't know. I would start Zarate again this time for home games. Maybe that's something we could try. Try Zarate, use Moses as an impact. Definitely use Carroll as an impact again. He's not a starter though. He hasn't got the stamina, and defenders can figure him out pretty quickly. He needs to come on when they're tired, you know. We've also got Ogbonna sitting on the bench. That's a £10 million defender. Should we bring him in? I think maybe it's time to bring him back. It'd be a bit harsh on Tompkins, but I don't know. Try that partnership that he wanted to see. Obviously, at the start of the season, probably Slavan would have said to you, I want Reid and Ogbonna at centre-back. So let's try that. Everyone's nearly fit now. We've nearly got a full-strength side. So let's try that. We really do have to try and bounce back today, because after this game, if we lose this game, that would be 2 losses. We've got the international break, and then we've got Spurs, and that's the one for me. When I look at the fixtures, that's the one we need to win, you know. So we can't go there on a sort of mini bad run, a mini blip, 2 losses in a row. I'll take a draw the weekend if we can pull that off. Prediction wise, anytime goal scorer for Lukaku, and I will say an Everton win, sorry, not an Everton ring. I just don't see us winning. You know, Everton, they're inconsistent side, but not when they play West Ham. When they play West Ham, they turn up and they win. If we do win though, we can really push on going to the international break. In terms of whether Roy is going to pick any internationals, you never know. Andy might get a pick, but you can't really look past people like Yavardis and people like that. Andy could get picked though, to be fair. When he's come on as an impact sub, he looks good. So maybe England could use him as an impact sub. Be nice, wouldn't it? That's my review for today. I've tried to go in a bit more detail than I did for the Watford game. I've done a little bit more research because I know you like to hear some of the stats that come out. So thanks for watching. Paul will be about with his betting video very soon. I think that's coming up Fridays. We're trying to keep to a schedule. We're going to try and do like my previews on Thursdays, betting tips Fridays, reviews maybe Mondays or Sundays, and then Lee will pop in with his videos. I actually go and pick up my West Ham season ticket on Friday for the Olympic Stadium. We're going to do a little video on that, me and Lee. We're going to post that probably in a few weeks' time though. You know, it's one of those, it's not going to go out straight away, but we are going to do a lot of filming inspired by some of the other YouTubers that have done that. I think it's really good fun, that is, to see how the whole picking your ticket for the Olympic Stadium goes on. Anyway, thank you for all the views. What did we get? Nearly 300 views for the other preview, and that's fantastic. We've only been a channel for a month. We've got 30 subscribers now. Brilliant stuff. Anyway, keep sharing the love. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know. What do you think? Do you think we can turn over Everton now? Do you think it's our time to maybe win? Let's be fair, we've beaten Liverpool's. We've broken some of them hoodoos that we've had for a while now, so maybe it's time to break that Everton hoodoo. Thank you so much for watching. Please keep sharing the love. We will share the love back. Peace.